Ha! Ha! Well, I mean, it, you know, makes life easier, I think. Hmm. Hmm. You can get meta there, Stuart. Although, wouldn't it be great for Star Trek to be real, but you live in our universe, but you go to their universe, and you can bring Blu-rays of Star Trek over, and you can put Star Trek on the ship's like view screen, or like you say in the shuttle bay, and so you get to watch Star Trek in Star Trek, and just confuse people. That would be great. We did have, although he can't hear the, but we had you at the start. Why would me swapping to Yeti remove your audio, which is what I did? I just moved it from. Okay. There's no. Okay, fine. I mean, I'll restart, I guess, and waste time and. No reason why it wouldn't work. Let me close all these lightwave instances. And they can't even hear you complain, because they can't even hear you. But even though you're here to hear Stuart.
Alrighty.
Yeah, check then.
Hello, I'm checking now. Just waiting for it to catch up here. Well, I can hear me for sure.
Bop, 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 bop. Bop, 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 baby bell.
Yeah, can hear you too. Alright, cool.
Wait, you too, the band? What do you mean?
Yeah, you too. Turn that shit down.
You... Oh, yeah, that's weird. So, they're not live then. That'd be really cool. No. This episode of Trekyards is sponsored by U2. The U2iest of twos. Click it. Click it.
Alright, hit it on your end. Are we back?
You tell me, Stuart. You tell me.
I don't know. I don't know if we're back. Oh. You guys tell us. Can you hear us?
Because we had everything going right on our end, and then it wasn't. Thanks, YouTube.
Yeah. Hit like, guys, we got 50 likes already. Almost 49.
Although, how annoyed can we be? YouTube lets us stream for free. So, I mean, our annoyance factor... Yeah, you know what I mean?
It happens occasionally with the sound, so whatever. It's fine. But anyway, we're back. Anyway, they can hear us now. Yay.
So,
all right, so I'll start my intro again.
And just imagine that we said very funny things. That's key, right? There was lots of clever comedy. There you go.
Of course there was, because I'll do it again. Okay. Thank you for shuttling in, guys. We left the shuttle bay door open for you, as is the new procedure these days. Yeah. And then we did a whole thing about big widescreen TV and working in the shuttle bay and the force field and the star field. And anyway, it was good.
But I mean, it's probably one of our top 5 intros of all time. And so anyone that does sign language, I think honestly, you know, this will be the one that people remember.
Read my lips. Somebody who can do lip reading, go back and, you know, do the audio for it. So anyway, welcome back, guys. And we're back. We've been gone for a little while, in case you guys haven't noticed, and kind of missed you guys. Because it's what, Wednesday? Did we do it on Wednesday? No, we had Thursday, Friday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. Even though I did a few lives during the week.
Yeah. Didn't necessarily get the time off, but away from this PC.
Yes.
And all of today, the last 2 days I've been filming all day. I literally came from the set to this. So I'm quite drained, as you can imagine. But we'll be doing lives all week until Friday when I'm off again. then back next week. In which case, there's birthday celebrations for Stuart Foley.
Yes. There will be birthday celebrations next week. We'll be live for that. My birthday is on Friday this week, but we won't be doing a live that day unless I do one at night, which I might. Well, yeah, it's Friday. I have to do one. That's the rule. And it's going to be 70s, 80s, and 90s pop culture trivia this week. That's right, on Friday.
I feel like you need to have a birthday hat, at least for like the first half hour.
Considering I won't have a goddamn haircut by then, maybe I'll just wear different hats and keep changing the hats.
All birthday themed.
For every $20. Oh no, I don't have a birthday themed hat. I got like one or two, like a birthday tiara thing. But for every like $20 super chat or something, I could change a hat. Maybe that's an idea. Anyway,
we'll do a drunk live next week to celebrate Stuart's birthday. Go through his things, hang out, do a fun midday one, and then my birthday's on the 7th, so we'll do one that following week. So 2 drunk lives, one fully celebrates Stuart, one that talks about me and then celebrates Stuart as always.
That's not true at all. I feel sad. Anyway, guys.
No, because he's the captain. That's the privilege of rank, Stuart, by default.
I suppose so.
Privilege of rank. It's like an admiral. Like you're always inferior if an admiral's in the room. It's like, oh, great, thanks.
I hear that I dubbed the lieutenant commander. I'm a lieutenant commander now, so commander, you're in charge this one.
Oh goodness. Well, to double back for a second, I said always inferior if an admiral's in the room. Well, Sylvia's there at some point, so you know.
Actually, she's out getting groceries right now. She'll be back soon. So.
Sorry, that was a very long tangent. I'm going to start sharing because we just sort of
start sharing.
Chatted for a bit.
93 people here.
I'll see you in a minute, Stuart.
I'll see you later. With 67 likes, guys, hit that like button if you haven't. We can at least hit 75 would be great. Sorry about the audio issues, but things like that happen. We are a little bit late, but that's okay. This will probably just be a little bit shorter live. Probably. We'll see how you guys want to contribute as far as that goes. So, but hit that like button. Let's get to 75 likes and let's make it happen, guys. Samuel's not in the best of moods and he's feeling very drained and low energy. So we need to cheer him up. Okay. Plus, considering we haven't been doing lives and all that, the revenue's down this month, so he's a little bit. But let's cheer him up. Let's get it going. So anyway, guys, yes, super chats are a great way to support the channel and help us out. If you can, please consider doing so. Also join the channel at the rank of Commander, Captain, Admiral, Fleet Admiral, and Federation President. There's a join button down there by the subscribe button. That helps us on a monthly basis. If you want to get your comment or question read on the air, because we do read all super chats, by all means, hit that super chat button and send us a super chat. We'd really, 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 really appreciate that. So also, you can join the channel over on Patreon/Trekyards to help us on a monthly basis over there, or you can send a PayPal. There is information down in the description of every video on how to send a PayPal. Just let us know in the regular chat that you sent a PayPal so the admins can let us know that you sent a PayPal, and we will read your comment or question via the email from PayPal there. So, and look at that, we got a super chat while Samuel was sharing from Eugene, 2,500 rubles. Which is awesome, so thank you. I always loved TNG Type 7, Type 8, and Type 9 are fine as well. I wish you'd mention the NX-01 Shuttle Pod, and please no Class C. Well, this is our top 10, so I'm going to tell you right now, the NX-01 Shuttle Pod is not on my list. I hate the way that thing looks.
Well, it's also a shuttle pod, not a shuttle craft, so technically it shouldn't be on this list either.
Well, two of these things might not classify as shuttles on my list. By that logic, maybe.
Yeah, it's a tricky one because is there 10 shuttle craft? Yes. Are they the most iconic ones? We'll find out. So if you decide like, okay, do you include shuttle pods and then not really shuttle? There are lines, and once you've set the, we'll find out each other's list obviously and work out. But Eugene had a great vibe there. Just a little candid, guys, we had to take some days off, and this month's income is substantially lower than we are looking at, and that's projecting. Well, 7 days left of the week, Stu. I don't know if we can possibly count up. So if we can really have some good super chats this today, that would help a bit. But we are looking to have our worst month in a long old time for many reasons. It's not as if this is just whatever.
It's just the time of year and YouTube. This is a thing that happens every year around this time. So, but yeah, we've also didn't do a few lives last week. I already filled them in all this while you were sharing.
Yeah.
So they're aware.
Okay, yeah, it's just
yeah.
It's hard to see those numbers when it's like, oh man.
Yeah, well, it happens. It's going to pick up again in August. We're going to get new tracks. So
yes.
We'll have lots to talk about. So.
I'm not pressuring. I'm just pointing out. I didn't know if you did, obviously, because whatever. But yeah, Top 10 Shuttlecraft. How was your generation of list? Because I know we talk about this. Often you find hard. And is this in a distinct out of 10, or is it more 10-ish, olderish?
This one I thought I knew what my list, like my number 1 and 2 were going to be, and then I went in and I'm like, reconfigure, and by the time I was done, the one that was going to be my number 1, but then became my number 2, is now an honorable mention. So
that's impressive.
It was quite an interesting shuffling of the deck. I got a nice size chart with all the shuttles on it, and saw those, and I'm like, okay, let's. And then that brought up other stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah. So anyway, we're here now, and this is the list.
That's pretty great. That's never happened before. That's unique. That's fun.
No, I wanted to be different for my number 1 or number 2, and it's like, oh yeah, that's a cool little ship. But then it's like, oh no, that's better ship. Oh, that's better. Oh, okay, yeah. Now it's an honorable mention.
That's amazing, Joe. And for me, I have become... Recently, I've worked with certain shuttles in CG that I had not worked with before, and arguably more than most people in the world, because they weren't in their respective show, movie, whatever, that much. And so I've gained new appreciation and de-appreciation for certain things. It isn't just on aesthetics, there's a sense of what they can do. So this will be... This is a different list that's different this last 12 months than it would have been last 12 months, for sure. So there's my slight caveats.
Interesting.
But,
right. Well,
first super chat, or next super chat, who goes first? I want to know.
Yeah, let us know who you think we should go first with a super chat. That'd be great. 112 people hear those, 78 likes, which is amazing this early on, even though we are late. But let's get another... Let's do the math here. 22 likes. There you go. To get to 100 likes. I think that's very, very doable. So hit that like button if you can. That would really, really help us out. So, we were. This was my idea to do this one, and I knew it'd be fairly simple because I mean there's a lot more than you'd think probably once you get into it. But how was making your list? I know you were busy all day, so. Well,
like I say,
was it a little bit of a scramble?
Well, definitely a scramble, but it was more where those in-between ones are, and surprising myself when I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to go for this. That sort of vibe. I'm intrigued to see, honestly. And I don't know if I might have left some out, but it would be an interesting sell to try and overcome the ones I've already got, if that makes sense. Yeah. Oof.
Well... Jarzia, $20. So thank you so much, Jarzia.
Mic drop.
Sorry to hear you guys are having a slow month. Hope this helps. Taking the week off myself. Been super sore and exhausted from overtime at work in the past couple of months. Well, treat yourself, man. It's nice weather now, so enjoy. And thank you so much for the super chat.
Awesome.
Jason Marsh throws in $2 with no comment, but thank you so much, Jason. That goes a long way. It's better than you guys realize, actually. They add up pretty quick, so
we like seeing the pretty colors. Doesn't matter what color.
That's true.
Like when Eugene found a workaround and gave us like 21 cents. It's like, the genius of foreign currency.
Using the ruble, yeah.
Amazing.
Matthew DeFridas, $2.
Thank you.
Will the shuttle with the new blast shield appear? I kind of forgot about it, honestly.
Blast shield.
That's the Type 6A.
Yes. No, it's the Type 6. It's
the Canadian one.
That's right.
Type 6A.
That's right. I just couldn't make a joke because there's no joke when the joke is what you're saying. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We will see.
We shall see.
Or
we shall see. Funny. ISFJ 1009, $5. Whoever has the Delta Flyer in the list goes first.
That would be spoilers.
That would be spoilers.
But
We should just flip a coin or something.
do I have a coin? Yeah, I better have a coin. Yeah, I'll flip a coin, Stuart.
Well, I got this. This is my Playboy lighter. It says tails you win. So if you get this side, that's tails.
Or I have a coin.
Or a coin. Would
Okay.
work too.
So heads.
Rather look at a
Wait,
purple
are you gonna say
tail.
heads or tails?
I'll call heads.
Ready?
Yeah.
Tails.
Samuel goes first.
Okay. That went high up as well. I was like, oh. All right. And this was a last minute swap around, as in last minute, like literally as we were already on Skype, talking about technical issues, it was last minute. So this was last minute. My number 10 is... We have to be able to see it on screen to have it as the... Oh, okay, there's need to move there. My number 10 is the Star Trek Picard Argo-ish shuttle.
Yeah.
Now
this one I was going to add to my list and I completely forgot about. So
now, unfortunately, I only have... I ran out of time massively. So I have the concept sketch, but it's pretty damn close to the concept sketch. So I'm fine to be like, yes, basically. And this one, again, it beat my other number 10, and I'll go into what that was, because this is just a better design. It just is. It's a nice looking design, it's simple, it's effective, it's clearly just an Argo, but I prefer it in a lot of ways. It looked good in the show, it was refreshing to see, and it's remarkable they didn't use more of these, given the fact that it was a good design they already built. I know it was a bonus additional thing they made, but it's just like that should have been... Like, okay, but it would have been weird to be the taxi around Starfleet Commander, but it would have made more sense. Like, they had these assets. So yeah, it's a fine shuttle, and it does stand out as being pretty good. Pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this would have been on my list, but like I said, I thought of it early, and then I completely forgot about it. Until the last minute after I was like getting ready to send it, I'm like, shit. I'm not going to add it. I'm just going to go to the list. So yes, great call. I'm glad you picked it because it's one of Johnny's better designs, and it is seen in Picard. I wish it would have been seen more in replacing the Discovery shuttles, personally, but it is there on Mars, on the Mars facility, and it does look fantastic. Very, very similar to that concept sketch. So.
And thanks, Jack F. We will try. Have good birthdays. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Squadron Course, $2. Broke till Friday, but here's a little anyway. Oh. Thank you so much.
Oh.
I know the feeling.
Yeah.
Peter Berghardt, $2.
Well, I like the picture.
Really enjoy your top 10, guys.
Oh.
Well, thank you so much. We enjoy doing them for you guys. So.
And this is a ship one. Haha.
Ah.
Which is good.
It's not shippy though. Like shitty. Oh. 8 more likes to get to 100. I don't know. I had to throw something in there.
I do wish with this one though, you know, obviously any level of fleshing out would have been nice. You know, seeing an interior, see it be not the runabout set, seeing it land, see the warp engines, you know, any sort of development. Hopefully in the future, you know, it's right there. It's one of the better designs. And it's, you know, the Argo shell is such a decent shell, but this takes it in a more fighter place. And it'd be fun to see like alternate versions of like the Argo shell, like the basic structure, and like give it maybe Type 11 warp nacelles or Delta Fly warp nacelles. You know, how do you give it different mission profiles? Yeah.
I'd love to see standard nacelles thrown on this thing. That'd be kind of neat. Kenshi, $10. Thanks.
Oh.
I'm back. Am I back? Am I back?
You
Can
are.
you hear me? Can you see me? Yay. Kenshi 2K7, $10.
Oh.
Thank you. I've missed a bunch of these lives lately, sorry.
Yeah.
But this is the best Star Trek channel on the Citadel.
I've heard that before.
I haven't.
You have. That's I've been a running joke for 5 years. Just so you know.
Oh, okay. Andrew Parent, $2. Not much to give this time, but have what I can. Well, thank you so much.
No,
all right.
It does mount up. It really, really does. But your number 10, what just missed the honorable mention slot? Look at it that way.
Mine will be the warp shuttle. The shuttle with the warp sled from Motion Picture.
Yours have come in not the order they're meant to come in, because bloody Bloody. Hold on. But yeah, keep talking. Just the didn't.
Anyway, yes. The one that Spock arrives on, it is not a Vulcan shuttle. It came from Vulcan. It has Vulcan markings on the warp sled, but it is actually standard Federation shuttle
Good picture,
design.
by the way.
Thank you. So, and it's it's shown in lower decks. It's got a cool, funky design to it, and I think it's something that's really cool. You can see the size of it. You know how big it is. I love that it's got a warp sled attachment. It's kind of like the Jedi fighters before the hyper jump ring things. So it's a long range, warp shuttle, which is neat. And you do get them when you buy the little the 350 refit models. You get 2 of those in there, so you can paint those and put them in the shuttle bay. So they are just standard Starfleet shuttles. Everybody says it's a Vulcan shuttle, and it's not. It did come from Vulcan, this one specifically, and the warp sled does have Vulcan markings, but it is actually something used by Starfleet. So,
well, and this is why I noted this when you initially pitched this. It's Federation shuttles. This is not confirmed necessarily like Starfleet standard issue, but definitely Federation. So it definitely factors that in without any question. Do you think though, if this was painted, say, blue or something, this could just be a generic any other sci-fi? Like, does it need a bit more Star Trek thrown in?
It Star sure, but has that. Oh, you're frozen. Oh, there we go. It does have that motion picture aesthetic to it. It could be anything sci-fi though. Honestly, I've seen a red version of it to actually be from Vulcan, and it looks kind of odd, but I still, because this is one of the earliest things I ever saw when I was a kid, being related to Star Trek, it definitely screams Star Trek to me. So,
yeah. And for me, I worked on the Nagar, the Andrew Probert redesign attack version of this for the Yorktown film, which is more intricate. It's got more detail, and they have like the glowed inner grills, which are a bit more deliberate. And that's cool. I think if we're assuming it's Federation / Starfleet-ish, it would have been good to see this in TNG because they had the miniature. Give it full glowing grills, give it warp facades, give it distinct impulse engines, like as we often see, those few tweaks would go a long way. Maybe even making a Starfleet-looking top pod to go on top of the warp sled rather than just this sort of shape. Like, maybe even repaint it. Like, it would have been cool to have seen, like, okay, we have to kit bash this. We never saw it again, ever, as far as I can recall.
No.
Like, CA.
Well, lower decks.
But... Sure, yeah. But in a kit bash form, like, I would love to have seen a like TNG-ified version. Give it that sort of vibe, even like phaser strips. Give a few of those elements that might like ramp up the Trek integration.
The thing is, you can definitely see the size though, because you got the airlock at the back and this door at the side. It's not big. This is just, I don't know why you'd want to be on a long haul mission with this thing with the warp sled, because it doesn't look very comfortable, honestly.
They should go in a Sayer class instead.
There you go.
But it does
not
also...
quite a shuttle, but
no, I know. But if you're doing long haul, but it's as you say. Although I'm wondering if this is deliberately a very fast shuttle, because if this is implying that other shuttles don't have warp, which TOS does and doesn't have warp. But if this is a warp sled shuttle, then does that mean other shuttles don't have warp? In which case this is a speciality, or is it just fast enough, or is it just the one Spock happened to get?
The caveat is this is a long range warp shuttle. So the long range is the big bulky thing. It makes it seem like there are other shuttles that are capable of warp that are not. They don't have this attachment, so they're just for shorter range jumps or whatever. So I don't know.
The questions we have.
I like that it's long range.
Yeah.
Right?
There's not much space in it to hang out.
Yeah, you can't have a party, man. Truzon throws in $2.
Thank you.
Do work bees count as shuttles? They do not.
No. The whole category. They're construction equipment.
Yes. Travis Bounds, $5. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd love to see a collab between Trekyards and Gallifrey Gals. They're currently on season 4 of TNG. Gallifrey Gals. Not sure who they are.
So
I'll have to check them out.
I'm assuming they're English, which is a point in their favour. Tweet us. Perhaps we're always more open to collabs than other people are with us, because they get busy and do other things. We're like, hey, everybody, let's have a conversation, because it's nice and it's fun. Not a mean way or anything, just
brings the community together.
Yeah, and we're well known to be friends with everyone. That's kind of one of our things.
Jack F, $3. Thanks for all the intelligent conversations and fun. You're welcome. Thank you for taking part and enjoying them. Sergeant Montgomery, $5.
See you again.
So Vulcan to name a meaningless courier shuttle after the father of logic. Well, if it's a courier shuttle, it's delivering like people with knowledge. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, you could possibly argue this is like their premiere limo version.
Yeah.
I mean, who's to say that looks ugly and downgraded? I mean, that could be top of the line. You know what I mean? Like, just because it's a bit grey and weathered, it's because it was in space. The Surik might be like their VIP shuttle for fastest, because what had to get there. So in fact, I think that probably implies it with the name. Nice.
Somebody should redo this with like FedEx or UPS on it. Repeat it.
What was Olivia's company called? Get them.
Yeah, OJ something.
Yeah.
OJ Transport or something.
Yeah. So my number 9, and I do not remember what these are, so let's see what I pick. My number 9 in my top 10 is the Argo Shuttle. Wow, I picked two the same. I did change to my number 10. So just above the Argo lookalike is the Argo itself. What do I do with my life? The Argo. Now, it's a bit more fully featured than the other concept, because of course it was. It got more screen time. It was more up close. It actually has warp nacelles. It actually has impulse engines. They are blue impulse engines. This one is a combination of an ugly brick and a sleek hot rod brick, because when the wings are in the lander position, it looks not great. As soon as it all comes out, it has a flow to it, a sweep. It's confusing. I really wish there was some design change. I really wish it was streamlined a bit more. I really wish it had not the car. If this had a nice like aft cargo bay module, like cargo bay segment, or the big runabout section, where they meet, maybe a door on the side. Like if they hybridize this with a runabout, I think it would be a really nice way, like a more advanced runabout. That would be great. But it's definitely a shuttle. Definitely in it. Don't really get much to see of it, but it looks nice in motion, and it's it's a sleeked out runabout, which actually in this case actually a shuttle, which is good.
Yeah, this is an interesting one for sure. Unfortunately, all I can see or think of when I hear about this thing is the Argo dune buggy. I do like that the things fold down for aerodynamic or for atmospheric flight or for landing, kind of like wings, but it does look fast, standing still, so that's good. But yeah, definitely needed something else in the back, as you said, like the rear of a runabout would be fantastic, actually. I'm sure there's different variations of it as well. So in universe, you could definitely make some changes as far as that goes. But yeah, good looking ship.
Yeah.
My number 9 might surprise a lot of people. But that's okay. And that is the TOS Type F, or the Galileo. The classic, Star Trek shuttle. It looks great from the outside. Inside is another matter altogether. They definitely needed to do more work on the inside. I've recently watched Galileo 7, and I'm like, really? That's the best you could do for the inside of a shuttle? I'm gonna go in the back and do some stuff. Oh yeah, in that closet? And you just go hide around the corner? Like, what are you doing? I don't know. I got a few issues with this thing, but it is an iconic shape, an iconic shuttle. I wish they would have gone with the original Matt Jeffries design, but they couldn't build it because of just the curves and stuff that were involved. This one was done as a model kit, and that was part of the deal. It was, anyway, it's a neat design and got enough room in it that it could be something better than it is, but it just doesn't work for me. And the fact that it's also not warp capable, with the clearly warp nacelles on the side,
except that one time it
is.
maybe is, yeah.
Maybe is, yeah. I don't know. It had a lot of potential, and it's just kind of, but it's still got to be on the list because it's classic, iconic, and it's definitely 60s. It does say early Star Trek, and it's neat. So there you go. Looks like a boat, actually.
Yeah. Although I will say, I prefer the fan work of this shuttle. I've seen a couple of clips of it in the remastered, and like the Bassard dome's now grey. It looks bland. Yes. It looks a bit ugly. They've made it worse in the remastered. I don't understand why.
Yep. I think they made it so these clearly aren't warp nacelles. Look, they're I don't know.
Yeah, but it's tricky. It's tricky. It is classic though. I know obviously we've been doing as the fan film team building a proper 4K version which has the interior and the exterior all combined, because we never really see the looking inside the shuttle windows, and so that's definitely one of my ambitions, is in some film, in some project, in something, being able to see through those, because they are windows, not view screens.
Actually, with shutters that close down, so yeah.
So it'd be kind of fun to see that perspective, because as we know, the inside does not match the outside. Doesn't matter how hard you try. There ain't that.
Yep. Sebastian, aka Space Daddy, throws in €2. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for all the unintelligent and drunk conversations.
Those two.
Anytime.
Well, anytime you say that, but probably next Wednesday and maybe Wednesday after that. I mean, those are coming soon on Trekyards.
And they'll be fun.
They will be fun.
They'll be longer. They'll be in the afternoon, so stay tuned. Area 51, $2. Space Lamborghini.
What is? They all go.
I think your number 10 would be more like the Space Lamborghini. It's got the nice shapes to it.
Maybe he's delayed by a good 10 minutes then. It is possible.
Maybe.
As well.
Maybe.
Although, I'll ask you guys then, spam the chat right now. If you were doing a top 10, where would the TOS be on your top 10? Because, if the original Matt Jeffries had been the one, all of the art design shuttles forever after would be different. This is the reason everything looks the same, as in looks consistent. So it would have changed. Well, this entire list would have been different. So put us in your list right now in the chat. What would be yours at number 10? And if it's not in your number 10, do say not. Yeah, I'm interested to say.
They might not have a list of shuttles in front of them. It's hard to think of 10 sometimes.
I guess maybe top 5, top 3, top. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully they could probably do a top 10 sort of vibe, as in a top 5 or a top 10.
Yeah. So we got a number 3, 11.5, 11.99. Oh, 10, 8, honorable mention. Okay. Wouldn't be, not a fan of it. Another 10. Good way to kick off the list, I guess. But that's why it's my number 9. So I mean, hey.
Yeah, there are, Jack. There's actually quite a few more.
Quite a few, yeah. Pretty close to the bottom. Number 7. Not in top 5. 5 for TOS.
Hey, Thomas gives it a 1. We do get 1 super fan. There we go. We've served the purpose.
Yes.
All right.
Anson Smith 10. Yes, a lot of kicking off the list kind of thing. So that's good.
All right. So my number 10, my number 9. So my number 8 is the I don't know what type it is, but the Star Trek 5 shuttle from Star Trek 5. Its official name is the Star Trek 5 shuttle.
Well, it's the Galileo Star Trek 5.
Yeah,
it's kind of called.
So this is a tricky one for me, because it's just like you with a lot of yours. It's what we saw of it equals its coolness. They actually built a full-size exterior and a full-size interior. That's really impressive, and they put a lot of money into that, and it feels it. Maybe not like super high budget interior per se, because the whole film is semi, like, it feels kind of low key, but it's still there. It still exists. It was a scale we've never seen before. And I quite like actually the kind of rustic nature. It's very fitting for the era, which is very important, because each era is specific. So even if it might not be like sleek or sexy, you're like, oh, that's Star Trek TMP era. Yeah, obviously. Like it's which is appropriate. I think my biggest complaint with it, honestly, is that it's got one big, like, thin window pane. I've done a bit of CG with it occasionally, and it's not doesn't. I think that is a disservice, personally, and this. Yeah, but that's my only big complaint right now. I kind of like the bulkiness in some ways, and the fact that it's clearly like can have lots of people in it, etc. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Kind of like a commando type dropship thingy. You can sit a bunch of people on the benches. Is what I mean.
That's what they do.
Well, ironically enough, that is my number 8 as well.
Really?
The Galileo Star Trek V shuttle.
Oh, brilliant.
It is a classic design and cool shape, and does feel very motion picture era for sure. There is a later version that has more of the Type 6 side windows, which I considered putting here instead of this one. But this one, yeah, I think it's from Generations. I think it's getting Generations.
Yes,
which is a nice addition to this one, actually.
Yeah,
but
let me go look. Thanks for reminding me about
that. Anyway, so yeah, that's why it's my number 8. It is a cool looking design. Follows right on the heels of the original Galileo. It looks and feels like the next evolution of the design, and it's beautiful. I love that it's got the ramp at the back. The original Galileo didn't have that. I think with some rejiggering, you could maybe make that work. I think some people have. Anyway, so I really like the feel of this one. It definitely fits the movie era, and the things on the side are a little bothersome. They look like they should be wings, and they're not. You know, I don't know why they're there specifically. They don't need to be, but.
I see. Look at the Generations version. I like it more in some ways, but now it just feels like the TNG shuttle, but with a bit in the middle, because that's what it is now. They've.
It's the stretched limo of the Type 6.
Yeah. Whereas this way around, they feel more distinct because they are slightly more different. Oh, that's funny. And it's fair to say, like, this has a attractive, unattractive bulk. Like, it's appropriate, you know? But it's not, like, sexy in the classical term, but it is good in its own way. I also like the fact that I can very easily visualize the scale of it. For whatever reason, because we saw it physically in the movie, so I kind of like, it feels like grounded to me, which I like. Yeah.
Yeah. And Matt Boardman's saying originally it was supposed to have wings, or retractable wings at least.
Oi.
Where are they going to retract to? Hi. As it goes in.
That's great.
Oh well.
That's great.
Yeah.
But this
looks like a bullet.
Yeah. And this would be a fun one to like do a proper refit of, like make a post TNG version, iteration. Not go too far out of the box. What do you guys think? Because sometimes, as you've said, when it is.
Sean O'Neill likes this one. He says.
Good. Well, I don't know why it wasn't used in more movies. This would have been I don't know how to fit in Star Trek 6, but like.
Yeah.
Use it more. Cool. There we go. 8
Colin Cameron. Ooh. Yeah, 8 for both of us. That's awesome.
Yeah, which we haven't had a
Colin Cameron,
we haven't had a joint
£5
number for a while, like the same.
That's true. Colin throws in £5.
Thank you.
I think the Star Trek V shuttle looks like a scaled down Star Wars dreadnought.
I know which one you mean. That's kind of funny. I agree.
I don't. So.
That's good.
Jarzia, $2. The Star Trek version of a Sprinter van.
Sprinter van.
I'm not sure what a Sprinter van is, but a lot of people call this like the minivan. I mean, a lot of the shuttles can be compared to minivans,
sure.
But
I mean, that's their purpose. Let's be honest. They're to travel people, move people, etc.
They're for the soccer mom captains. ISFJ 1009, $5.
Thank you.
The top thingy looks like a Mopar Barracuda hood scoop. LOL. Yes, it does. It absolutely does look like a Barracuda hood scoop. I've thought the
Oh
same thing.
yeah,
I
that's
got a
great.
little
Huh.
I got a little 360 or 360 scale versions of these that came with my refit, and I've painted those up pretty nice. So I thought the same thing many times.
Nice.
Funny.
Cool. All right. Well, there's our 8. So my number 7 is the classic Type 6 TNG shuttle, and this is my own render from my my Indiegogo and my whatever. Yeah, Type 6. I mean, I know it's the box, the and even in the Voyager scene file they call it the Big Ugly.
Really?
They were not fond of it, but it's got enough unique charm to it over the other one to win a slot ahead. I really like, now having played with a 3D one and Matt Bourman helped do the exterior, I love that it's actually one of those shuttles to actually be truly the inside and the outside in one prop. You can easily visualize it all. And so I feel like I could walk through it and get a sense of it. You know, it really is lived in. It is real, you know. And while it's not as sleek as the earlier TNG shuttles, I think it has more character. I think it blends in better. And I just I like a lot about it. And I've liked it more the more I've used it. I'll say that.
Okay, that's fair. It also is my number 7.
Oh my god!
It's also my number 7. So, yeah, this is a cool one, mainly because it is so functional and to the point. It does what it's supposed to do. It's got the nice wraparound windows. You can see out. The interior looks really good from every time we've seen it. You got to play with this thing with the Playmates version, which is scaled beautifully. It's not like there's not weird proportions on it. It's like the perfect little toy. So it's one a lot of people are very familiar with. The back went down. I mean, on the toy, the front thing went up. But anyway, it was still pretty neat to see, and it does exactly what it's supposed to do. I don't think it's ugly at all. I find it weird that they would label it that. If anything, the one that Andrew Probert designed that was the other ugly thing, that should be called the Big Ugly. This one is nice. I love this thing. But you can see the evolution again from the Star Trek 6 or Star Trek 5 shuttle to this. Like there's the same basic shape at the front with the long windshield, and just generationed up a little bit to be a newer version. So yeah, this thing definitely holds a special place as far as shuttles go in my mind anyway. So, and yeah, seeing your thumbnail, the one that you did there is fantastic. So
because you don't always see the interior and fan renders because it's hard, and it is a weird one though, because the nacelles aren't the odd hybrid between boxy and sleek. It is, you can see the boxiness, but it has a certain practical sleekness. It's right in that in between. The front is actually lovely and sleek and pointy and nice. The back is incredibly bulky and yet it has a forward momentum that I like, and I think I'm certainly the end scene of Relics with Scotty and walking around it and the reverence that moment gave the shuttle gives it a lot of fun and love in my heart, just like that level of love. So it's definitely special for me. And yeah, I do like the way the top inner inner cooler things are. Oh, still, oh my god. It's like he's disapproving right into the cockpit. There he is. Yeah.
Yes.
The only thing I'll say, I did, as you
heard some of that.
As you know, I just did a short with this shuttle, and it certainly doesn't look the nicest in motion. Like, it is boxy, but it's got a certain something. And it does look sufficiently different for the Star Trek 5. Like, I'm so glad they, unlike other modern shows, they didn't just reuse it and barely paint it different. They ripped the goddamn thing up, rebuilt it, and it's very different. And yet a bit the same. That's how you should do it, you know? Yeah.
Good
job, guys.
Sean K, $5. Live life.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. I mean, do we have another option for that one?
Oh.
Thank you, though. Appreciate that.
And then a Squadron Core says, would look better if it had red basards on it. Thoughts?
It does in one or two scenes, doesn't it? Doesn't it in Voyager when they use it?
Well, yes, but not this shuttle. That's the type. That's a different type.
Oh, okay.
That's the kit bash of this kit bash.
That's it would look cool with the red Bizarre collectors. It doesn't need them though, in my opinion. But it would look cool for sure. It's definitely like the small version of the warp nacelle. So
I think it would make it pop. I do think it would. But I think we're so entrenched with how it does and should look. You know, it's like I'd love to see it with, you know, the Type 9 treatment of the proper basards, the phaser strips. Like, those two things, that it does have phasers and does have basards, even though it doesn't have phasers or basards. Interesting. Alright, Stuart, my number 6 then, I guess. Since I'm going first, you're copying me. Is that 6? Yes. Yes?
yes, we're on 6. Yes.
The Type 7, I believe. The one after the Type 6. This is the Voyager version. Well, this is like a pattern of design. This is like this shuttle going through the ages. Stuart. Hey, Troy. Good, enjoy it. Enjoy it. Colin. Stuart. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of our list so far? I did have it on my Where did you go, Stuart? What's this called? I think isn't it called Type 7? No, it's Type 8. It's the Type 8.
Internet's gone. Oh, it's back.
Hello, Stuart. Like I said, my number 6 is the Type 8. I love I've got a pattern here. I go from Star Trek 5 to TNG to the Voyager version of the same goddamn shuttle. As it improves in technology, so it improves my rankings, apparently. So this is what the Voyager one looks like. It's rarely used, to the point that most people don't realize it exists. It's the same design as the 6, but sleeker, with more detailing, with extra glowies, with Voyager nacelles, which links it into how the Type 9 has. And it's just more detailed and more cool looking. But we don't see it enough to really get a real sense of it, which is frustrating. I don't know if Stuart agrees with me. Oh dear, Stuart. I had a whole great speech there. Well, I tried, guys. I tried.
No, I'm not using DSL. Sick of those comments, and we can't get Starlink here because we're not far enough north to get Starlink. So anyway, I'm back. I don't know what you said about this thing, but
I said all the things. It's fine. I just gave my reasons. I joked that apparently my design choice, every time the ship goes through an advancement in time, it goes one higher on my list. I guess is the logic here.
Yeah.
It's just a sleeker,
well, it does have
sexy
the Bizarre collectors. It's got the change that we wanted for the other ones. So I mean, hey, I'm not a big fan of the way the nacelles attach, though. I do prefer the Type 6 for that personally. But
yeah, I know what you mean. But the hull's just so much sleeker and just refined. It's just so infrequently used. And it's weird to think Voyager has any, given they have the Type 9s. And, like, where do these come from? And then I guess they were all destroyed, that's why they were abandoned. But it seems odd to suddenly introduce a new shuttle for, like, 3 episodes that is sometimes used, depending if they're using CG or not.
Yeah, interesting choice. I mean, I considered this one. It's not on my list. I'm going to spoil it right now. But yeah. CC Skippy joined the channel at the rank of commander.
Oh, wow.
So welcome to the channel.
Thank you. Well, that makes a big difference.
Yes.
That really does. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And John Chamness throws in $10. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The term shuttle is so loose, and I've always been most fond of the scout ship from Insurrection, basically a shuttle, but I also like the rare USS Defiant shuttle, which we'll get to soon. Don't worry.
Yeah, the scout pod is not classed as a shuttle. It's a scout ship, unfortunately. So it's yeah.
That was going to be my number one.
Got
shuffled all the way to honorary.
Yeah, it's just not a shuttle, which is the annoying part.
It's a cool looking ship, though. But
it is.
Anyway,
it's that because that's the thing. There's the one thing after shuttle to like bigger shuttle.
Yeah. All right. So my number 6
Mm.
is the Chaffee Shuttle, which is the one we were just talking about, John. Seen once on screen, as far as I'm aware, in one episode. But it's a neat looking shuttle. Again, it ties together the aesthetics of the Type 6, the Galileo from Star Trek 5. It's got the same basic design shape, just moved forward with Defiant type engines at the back, which is a nice little touch. It is lacking something, but I wanted to see more of this thing. It's got an interesting...
Oh, guys.
The sleekness of the shuttle, the main shuttle shape. So
hello again, Stuart.
Welcome back. Needed to see a lot more of it.
Welcome back, Stuart.
Hi. Yeah.
So you said I was missing something.
I don't know what else to say. Oh, I was gone that long, really? Because you were moving. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Anyway, yeah, I like how they tried to tie it in with the Defiant look, because it was the Defiant shuttle with those engines at the back. It maintains the whole sleekness of the shuttle design that we've seen going from all the way from the movies forward. It's got the same hull essentially as the Galileo one from Star Trek 5, but yeah, as a result of all that, I think there is something missing for it for me. I wish I could have seen more of it, to see it in motion, see it in action, see it land, to maybe get a better feel for it. I don't know.
Yeah, and this one was designed by Doug Drexler and built by Brandon McDougall, the classic modeler of the Relativity and the Prometheus, etc. Yeah, I had never considered, actually. Yeah, it is very much the Star Trek 5 shuttle, which we just talked about with the single whatever. Yeah, I find it's so front ill-weighted. Like, it looks, even though there's more tech at the back, it looks like I'll go, ooh. Like, it's not balanced in any way. Not to say it doesn't look good in motion, not that I've actually done an animation with it. And you can see more of it in the Ships of the Line calendar than ever on the screen. Because they're quite like using it. But the engines seem too complicated to me. Especially given how little detail there is in the rest of the hull. That module at the back is full of greeblies. And it's like, where has this all come from? Especially considering other shuttles of the era don't have that level of detail. And were you not a bit like, as there's no points against it in your mind when it comes out of a shuttle bay that never existed in a ship that hasn't got space for it?
It just adds to the intrigue for me.
Yeah.
Like, to see it come down like that, and it's like, okay, that's neat. Again, I wish we could have seen more of it, but I think they knew it was silly. They're like, yeah, we'll just curtail this one. Anyway.
Well, and it's doubly silly because they already introduced and build a physical set, like exterior physical for the shuttle pod when the Defiant got attacked. Like, they hadn't. I mean, I guess that set didn't exist anymore. But like, why has the Defiant got two different shuttle types, given it's already the size of like a nothing? A ship that has no space for shuttles has two different types of shuttles that are radically different. And one's got a big gun on the back of it, I think. Hasn't it? The other one's got like two cannons. It's very strange. Yeah, this one is just... I think this one would look cooler with warp nacelles. And like maybe even have pulse cannons as a top instead. Like, try and make that the integration. Like, it's more of an attack shuttle. Or at least it complements the Defiant's mission profile. It's a short range, beefy shuttle. That's, I think, what I would do to this personally.
Mm.
But now you said it's just the Star Trek 5 shuttle. I'm kind of mentally like you've broken my brain with that, which I like.
Sorry.
Yeah. What?
Sebastian, aka Space Daddy, €2. Stuart, check your room for a Romulan agent.
Oh.
Cloaked. Yeah, so that's my number 6.
Cool.
I wanted to mention it because this design's always intrigued me, and I really wanted to see more of it, so it's on here because I like it.
But like I said, ill balanced.
A little bit, but for a spacecraft, I don't have an issue with that really. But yeah, you could definitely bulk up those things at the back, and I don't know, you could definitely make some changes to this to make it better, in my mind. So
yeah, nice, cool. My number, whatever this is, 5.
Number 5. Yep.
Is the TOS shuttle.
Ooh.
And this is my render of a cage version from the fan film First Frontier. Because I had this. It was easier to find than a crappy picture online. But I'm making it the main TOS version. So this is, I was intrigued by your points because my gut reaction was higher, obviously, than you. But you said some very, very fair comments I can't disagree with. But I think because it is a box with wheels that happen to be nacelles.
Yeah.
But there's a real charm to it, and it does actually feel good in motion. I've done plenty of animations with it, and it has a flow to it that its shapes do not quite allow, that you would think. And if any element of it wasn't the way it was, it would be a whole load worse. If there wasn't that taper at the bottom and the front to give that smoothness, it would be worse. If there wasn't that little whoop on the top to give a bit more smoothness, like it's right on that bloody line. And but it's on the right side of the line, and it's a epitome of simple effectiveness. And the fact that it is every other shuttle afterwards, for the most part, up to a certain point, you see that linear progression beautifully. And I wish we'd seen something in the NX-01 era that at least called to this more with this similar profile. The shuttle pod is again a shuttle pod, not a shuttlecraft. They are different. So I wish we'd seen a shuttlecraft NX, whatever, and like how would you make an older version of this? But I do like the cockpit element of the shuttle pod, of the shuttlecraft. I like the door. I like all that stuff. The right at the back is beyond daft and beyond simple. And the fact that it's got this I can't see here, but at the back, that landing column, which is like just a part of a big machine that builds things, like it's just a securing column that's so out of building size. Like, why is this here? This is not sci-fi.
I mean, it makes sense for rockier or uneven terrain, maybe, like you said, with construction vehicles, but they use it all the time on the shuttle, and it almost doesn't. Yeah. I don't know what the decision was to add that. Like, I don't get it. Anyway.
But yeah, I like it because it actually works well in motion. I'm really excited to get our 4K version finished because it's a very smooth, like, high detail. So it feels like this has a lot of rough edges where the blockiness of the design comes through, whereas if you make it nice and smooth, as it like just with more polygons, it feels more cool and appropriate, and I can't wait to see it that. Yeah.
How do you feel about it with the cage spikes on the nacelles?
I mean, I did it.
I kind of like that look better, honestly, for the shuttle. So
I always like the bizarre styling of the old one. I don't think it's just so creative and fun looking. This is so very simple. I mean, it's fine. If anything, I'd like something more unique for a shuttle. Something in between, something different. But it's fine. Absolutely fine.
Fair enough. A Saucy Puppet Show throws in $20. Oh. Thank you so much. I like the concept of this, but agree with the commander's criticism of being unbalanced. I like the Defiance shuttles. I like the Defiance shuttled a little better.
I think maybe it's Shuttle Pod, maybe the other one.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I won't talk about that until we see if it's on a list or not. Don't leave spoilers, but I think I like that one better out of the two of them. But it's also very weird, so...
Yeah. Sean Corpier, $5.
Thank
If
you.
it wasn't mentioned yet, the Scout Craft from Insurrection and the strategy game is my favorite.
It's not a shuttle. Sorry. It's a scout ship. Sorry.
Like I said, it was going to be my number 1. Then it got bumped to my number 2, and
Wow.
then very quickly to honorable mention.
This is going to be a hell of a top one. But I do like the scout ship. Although it's very, very off kilter.
It feels like something you'd see in a Steven Spielberg movie as an alien ship. Or like it's like an X-plane, experimental fighter. But yeah.
Yeah, it's so John Eves. It's John Eves when he's not trying to design Star Trek so much as just good-looking stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great
All right.
movies.
You're number 5, Midway. Mine is TOS. I'm the TOS fanboy out of the two of us in this week. Goodness.
Seems like it.
Seems like it.
My number 5 is the Type 9
Ah.
speedboat shuttle. These are really cool and have always grabbed my interest.
Only number 5 cool.
Yes, this is true. They are.
Stuart. I hope you haven't kept talking.
Very
Hello, Stuart. How are you?
I'm back. There you go. Hi, good. They are very small and almost feels more like a shuttle pod than a shuttle craft because of the size. But I like all the shapes involved. I like how fast it looks, just sitting still. The fact that from the top, it seems like you could extend the hull back quite a bit further and do a little bit something different there. But despite that, it's fast. This thing looks like it's a very maneuverable shuttle. This is definitely for a specific reason. This is not for a long trip. There's not a lot of room in this thing, but it is fast looking. It's called the speedboat, so it's exactly what it looks like, and it works. This is one that even Janeway's shuttle is the same as this, pretty much. There's a few different changes, but I don't know. It's just it's cool. It's cool.
Well
There,
said.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. The further you get in the eras, the idea of the shuttle pod versus the shuttle craft is variable. I mean, it's quite larger than like the defunct shuttle pod, etc., etc. And you can't even stand up is how small they are. And this one, you can stand at a very specific point, and then you can't stand the rest of it. But hey, that's okay. But it is a fast, like you said, it is a fast one. So while it might not be the ideal long-term traveling, it's got ample it's got seating in the back. It's not as if you can't relax in it. It's just not that big chunky boy that you can walk around and hang out at the back. But it will get you where you're going faster. And I have now worked with the shuttle quite a lot in 3D. I may or may not talk about it later, so we'll see. But I do think this was definitely Rick Sternbach doing some real great work, because it takes the other shuttle and making it damn cooler. Which is an achievement because it fits in beautifully.
Yeah, there's a few things I'd probably change. The forward swept struts, I'd almost sweep those back. I think sweeping them back would make it look a little bit better. But yeah, and maybe filling in some of that bulk or that negative space at the back. I mean, from you could make a lot more room in there. All I'm saying. But anyway,
cool.
My number 5.
All right. Yeah, my number 4 is the Type 9 shuttle.
Well, before we get into it,
my Type 5 is the.
Before we get into it, we got a comment about the Type 5 or a super chat from Eugene, 500 rubles.
Good.
Type 9 is so speedy, fast, sleek, tidy, and yet so not shuttlecraft. More like a starfighter. Complete opposite of Type 7. Nevertheless, awesome design. Yeah, it feels more like I said, super maneuverable and more like not for transporting someone from a ship to a planet's surface, more for a specific mission profile. Weaving in and out of shit, So yeah, I agree with that. And Squadra Course puts in $2. How about a Type 9 nose and nacelles with Type 8 back?
I see it.
It could work maybe. And Matt, $5. I like the Type 9, but it does look a bit like a frog from the top. Yes, it totally does.
And Matt did
All
also
right.
text with this shuttle, so let us know what you think, Matt. What nuggets of truth can you give when it comes to about texturing a shuttle like this? Since you're one of the few people in the world that's done it.
Let us know about your said it's number 4 for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so your number 4 choice is the Type 9. Why is that?
Well, again, I've done quite a lot of work with it. This would have been higher on my list a few years ago. I liked it less from doing lots of work with it.
Nice.
I love everything. No, obviously in context, you're right. I think it all works together. Doesn't mean you can make an alternate version that tweaks things. I like the weird choice of having the recessed back. It's weird, but it's stylish. Stylish. The forward-facing pylons, I think, work with this. But you're right, I hadn't even considered those being forward-facing. But it's very odd how drastically slanted that nose is. They're wasting so much goddamn space. So much space. If it was half that, they could stand for most of the shuttle. Boom, boom, boom. And it's not as if you get more visible space, because you'd be close to the front and you'd see the same. I'm confused by that, because it's not disproportionate so much as a weird choice, because you're wasting so much space. But it does look fast standing still, etc., etc. And having now worked with the inside of the shuttle, it feels very limiting. It is very cramped, and even using different focal lengths, you don't get much out of it. I've done a lot with that, and so it's odd. And these shuttles, boy, man. One thing they don't teach you when going to CG school is that how the hell do you like shuttle interiors? Because, you know, when you sit down on a shuttle, right? Picture yourself, right? Okay, you're in a Type 9, great. Stuart, everyone at home, picture it right now, right? Wherever you're sitting, Type 9, right? Are you there, Stuart?
I am.
You've got this big, beautiful window going up above you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got 2 side windows, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where are the lights? Where are the lights on their faces that light them in these scenes?
In the support bars between the front window and the side windows.
I love it, but they aren't. I love that. Never even considered that. It's a really good idea. But there aren't. So how are they being lit?
The light of space.
I know the light of space. Why is it so even and beautiful? All the time. Because they're being lit from outside with studio lighting. It fucking sucks. You really got to get around that, because they aren't being lit by anything. And the background is one light. Now, I know the L cars light you, but I love that, though. I love that of having that in the thing. Although that'd be quite distracting as well, because it's right in the eye line. But there is no top light. If there is a top light, your face will be dark. So it's a very poorly, like, it can only be lit by fake. And that annoyed me in doing the shuttle interior, because it's like, you gotta cheat. You gotta cheat. So these are very personal annoyances that made it lower than like
Special.
2.
It's special glass that reflects the light of the L cars and the backlight
Oof.
to bounce back at the pilot. Because, like, we know that the bridge dome of the TOS Enterprise is translucent to certain kinds of light. So,
Man, I like it. I like it. Also, why is the deflector so small?
because it's a small ship.
Why is the nacelle so big then?
Because it's a fast ship. This thing goes like warp 7.5.
Yeah. But what I would like, I mean, it's such a bad. It's greater than some of its parts. I love the attention to detail. I love the bottom grooves, the top grooves, the way it's cut out, the evolution. It's a really, really good shuttle. But I now feel the in motion flaws more having worked with it, and that changed my opinion. But honestly,
That's interesting.
You having said stuff makes me want to make like a Type 9 Mark II for Horizon.
Go for it.
Yeah. Do like an updated version, because just like in their universe, you know, give the nacelles a Horizon vibe, and then like change a few things, and certainly fill out the back bit and keep this. I think that'd look really cool actually, like a slightly more bulked out version with a bit more mission profile. Could be really cool. Okay, now I'm done.
I agree.
What does Matt say? Assuming he's messaged about the his texturing of this.
He has
Brilliant texturing.
He said it's interesting texturing a shuttle like this, which looks so fast. You have to go a little heavy on the grunge just so that it will read when it's in motion. We We also got a super chat from a Saucy Puppet Show of $5, so thank you. Type 9 is...
Sorry, guys. Type 9 is cool, but def form of a function to make it look more like Voyager, I think. Yes, that's a very well said super chat. But the thing is, it doesn't just look like Voyager. It obviously follows a stylistic connotations, but it is not a carbon copy, etc., etc. It's holographic ambient lighting. I like it. They're lit by magic. Yes, indeed. SWNWAR. No.
Oh, never mind. It's back. All right. So I'll read that again. Goddamn. Saucy Puppet Show says the Type 9 is cool, but definitely form over function to make it look more like Voyager, I think. Yeah, I can see that. Colin Cameron, £2. It's a Starship Troopers escape pod.
It is a bit. And just to say, guys, we are doing well on the super chats. Obviously, you guys have come through. So we're looking for another $70 because that will help us kind of like raise that bar. We're still got at least half an hour to go, so that's absolutely doable. So any fives, would be great. Keep putting your thoughts in, makes a big difference, but sort of 70 by the end would be good.
And 180 people here, which is fantastic.
Oh, fantastic.
We can hit 150 likes probably very easily, so hit that like button if you haven't already, guys.
I wouldn't be surprised if we can hit 140 right now.
Yeah.
Click. Click.
Type 9 was your number 4. So this means my number 4 time.
Is type 4 your number 9? What?
No.
Okay.
What? I'm confused. No, my number 4 is the Delta Flyer.
What is that render?
I don't know.
Sorry.
Anyway, micro torpedoes, phasers, Borg tech, retractable warp thingies, lots of room in the back that will never fit in the actual shuttle itself. The interior is way bigger than this shuttle is, but that's okay. A very neat, fast-looking little design, and definitely the hot rod of shuttles, designed by Tom Paris, who likes hot rods. So this thing is super capable and maneuverable, and also can kick some ass. I don't know what Borg tech they put in necessarily. I don't remember specifically, but there's 2 of these. One gets destroyed, and then they get the Delta Flyer 2. Worth pointing that out as well. But honestly, this is kind of like a hybrid of like the speedboat shuttle with like a runabout. It's got the room of a runabout kind of inside, especially at the back, with the sleekness and speed look and feel of like the Type 9. So it's definitely like a hybrid between 2 of them. The window's funky and weird. I don't necessarily understand that, but I do like the control scheme with actual tactile controls instead of just touch screens. I think that's great. So there's a lot of, and the different stations, the way it's staggered in the cockpit makes it feel really cool. Like it's a unique design. So there's a lot about this thing I really love, but it's not number 1. So there you go.
Damn.
Have you worked a lot with this one?
Great question. Not a lot. I've loved every time I have, because I did one we did some beauties just for the fans, and that was one I did going to the Voyager, and I did one. I did some for episode at one point. It's nice. I mean that view you've got, which I think is either the original model or like some weird whatever, or a game model, but it shows it can look stretched and weird, because that doesn't look in proportion, even though it's probably the same model. So it's one that you have to treat in a certain way, but boy, it can look nice going by. Although the I've delved into the assembly for the warp warp things.
Retractable warp stuff.
Thank you.
Yes.
And the way, because everything works like an X, Y, Z axis, and it's so like unneat how it's like formatted, Like you have a real tough time. Like if you just had the pieces, sort of working out the X, Y, and Z to connect it, because it doesn't like it. It's so specific that whoever made it, they didn't touch everything. It just does its thing. So it's very tetchy. Don't. That's why they probably partially why they barely use it. Cause it's just a bit funny.
Okay, well, we have some super chats, but before we get to those, we also have a PayPal.
Yes,
so
excellent.
Alex sent a PayPal of $5.77 Canadian.
Thank you.
With no comment though, so thank you very much. Appreciate that. John Woke, $5.
Thank you.
I'd immediately crash the Delta Flyer because knobs and levers, but at least they improved on the Enterprise joystick from Insurrection. I prefer it. I totally agree with Tom Paris about having, actual, I mean, I'm sure they could eventually have that with holographic technology, something tactile in your hand that you can, feel.
Eric Henry had that idea, didn't he?
Yeah, and very easy to index where your hands are, as opposed to a flat touch screen that's really got no feed. We don't know what kind of feedback it has. It probably does have some kind of feedback for regular LCARs, but like your phone, when you hit it vibrates to emulate pressing a button. But still, I kind of like the tactile feel of it. So,
sure.
Let's see here. Colin Cameron, £5.
Thank you.
I really like the flyer, but change the color, and it's It's from Stargate SG-1. I don't see that.
For which race? Hey, please elaborate.
I think you might mean like one of the what the hell are they called now? Alkesh ships? No, I don't know.
We got a Death Glider, you got Alkesh, you got a cargo ship, you got X-32.
The cargo ship, the one that looks like a thorn. It's a weird looking ship. Maybe that's what he means.
I can't see it. Please elaborate.
ISFJ 1009, $10. Thank you so much. This is why the flyer could be changed to a fighter that could work in universe. I mean, with the interior space issue, take all that extra stuff out and store a rack of 8 to 10 quantum torpedoes. This thing has micro torpedoes, but I mean, you could. Where would you put a launcher, a regular sized torpedo launcher on this thing? Out the back, maybe. It'd be a pretty big launcher.
Well, I would have it retract down from the belly.
That's a good idea. I have to go back up to be reloaded. Have guys in there slinging the torpedoes in manually. Comes up, sling it in.
No, just picture this scene, right. Picture this, Stuart. Space battle. This against a thing, and the guy in the cockpit say, "Right, load the quantums," and you hard cut to Star Trek 2, where all the grates are being pulled out, and torpedo goes in, and the full room, like the same footage, it's like, "Ready, lock and load, okay, fire," and then little thing pops out and it fires. It's like, sorry, does that room fit? Yes.
That works.
That'd be a great hard cut though, wouldn't it? That'd be like such a good stupid hard cut at 2 levels.
I want to get 150 likes, guys. That's 10 more likes. If you haven't hit like, please hit that like button.
I'm gonna go pee. I want to see 255 and get back. I'm watching you. I'm not. I'm gonna pee, but I'm watching the likes. 155. Click like.
I only want 150, so. Yeah, looking forward to hearing your guys' thoughts on some of our number 1 picks, first of all, and your number 1 picks eventually when we get there. And yeah, I'm pretty sure the Delta Flyer is going to be on his list, but probably a little bit higher. Should I bet to see whether he'll be number 1? How well do I know Samuel? I'm going to say it's probably number 2. His number 1's probably the Type 11. It's going to be my call right now. The whole aft section would be a torpedo launcher. Yeah, you maybe be able to fit 6 torpedoes in, like on racks, like 2 or 3 on each side kind of thing. Maybe. It wouldn't be a lot of room for that though. That's the problem with this thing, because the interior dimensions of the set for this did not match the exterior dimensions at all. And they knew that going in. 9 out of 10. It's only lacking a replicator, toilet, and bed. Stargate SG-1 cargo ship. Okay, that's the one you were meaning. That's the one I was trying to describe, I think. But yeah, I mean, I can see that. It's very similar to
7 more. Come on, 7 more likes. But we did get 8.
We didn't even. Yeah, we did.
7 more likes. Click many likes. Click, 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 like.
We got some more super chats. So Kyle Wong, £5. So, not knowing how the holodeck really works, but we do. We got a whole video on it. Shut up. Could you not put holographic emitters in the back of the shuttle so you can have more room? No, that's not how it works. You're still confined to a certain space. So the holodeck plays tricks with distance and force fields and how you walk and leads you in different directions and stuff. So you're still within a confined space. So you can't extend the space with a holodeck. No, that won't work.
That said, given that you move and the space relative to you moves in your perspective, if you feel like you're in a bigger space, if you are claustrophobic, it would relieve the feeling of the space. And because it could generate and degenerate furniture, I mean, if you feel like you're in a back 10 times the size because everything's being materialized and dematerialized.
Sure.
Although I would imagine, given how small it is, if you ran quick enough, you'd probably you could easily out maneuver the hologrid and then touch the, and then suddenly you're being pulled back because now you can. I'm sure you could. No, you need a certain amount of space. I'm sure to make it work properly.
We have 157 likes though. So thank you guys. That's awesome.
Yeah, Stuart. But now we need 160. Now we need 160. We just need to.
3 more likes. A saucy puppet show throws in $17.01.
Oh, wait.
That's clever.
Wait. Is that the registry of something?
No. That's how much a good steak costs.
Okay. Fair enough.
Everyone make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit like. Sorry. Anyway, so he says, should have said the Type 9 was designed to look like it belonged on the Voyager, but to look like it.
Sure.
Maybe the Borg tech on the Delta Flyer is whatever makes it bigger on the inside. Yeah. TARDIS tech, for sure.
I mean...
Gallifreyan tech.
Well, they simulated Gallifrey a while ago. I like it. I like it. Cool. All right. My number 3, my bronze award. Goodness. Let's see what I said.
We're all ears.
This was the surprise one. The Type 11 from Star Trek Insurrection. I really had to think about that for a second. Stuart's face. Orion. I mean, we can we don't necessarily respond to the latest one straight away, so there is a little bit. There's only about 15 seconds, 10 seconds delay. Well, it does depend. Shuton, it's not a shuttle.
I'm here.
Comes up. Hi Stuart, I said Type 11 from Insurrection. Well, I had to think about that. And this is my render from my fan film Hours of Doomsday. Also textured by Matt Boardman, because he's been my shuttle guy for about 7 months. Although
nice.
Harder, I think you'll back me up on this, Matt. A harder texture to get right because it has less character in the textures. It's more flat. But this one was not going to be on this list as high until I worked with it in a ton of shots. This thing looks nice in motion. It has a real flow that other shells don't have. And yes, it's a runabout cockpit. Stuart's internet, man. Stuart, I need you. You know, if we get 170 likes, he might have no more internet problems. I'm just saying, maybe likes will solve the internet.
175 likes. Let's do it.
Yeah. I'll say, part of why I like this is because the interior feels the appropriate size for a shuttle you want to work in. It is just a redress of the runabout, which is partially why, but has that scale of comfort and flexibility. I really wish you'd seen the back of it, etc. And also I'll let you jump in as well. But this really grew on me. I'll be honest, over the last 7 weeks, to the point that it managed to get my bronze. It would not have got my bronze before that.
Just go to my number 3, which is the Type 11.
Oh my god! This is actually Insurrection.
Yeah. This is a very cool, like somebody said in the chat, looks like a hot rod. It does. It absolutely does. Again, wanted to see more of it, but considering the film we got it in, are we going to see more of it? Thanks to Samuel, yes. And I've heard him talk about it a little bit. So I do know that I figured it'd be high on his list. But
yeah,
we've got a few matching on the list this time, which is really good.
That's rare at this point. Now we're kind of
yeah. Would have liked to see more of the interior of this as well, but honestly, it is a nice evolution of the design. If you look right back from TOS all the way through, you can see the progression and just the sleeking out. And even the nacelles follow the Type 7 style, where they come out with little, so you see this progression of the shuttles, and this is kind of like the epitome of this is a shuttle that I want to fly around in. This is a cool looking shuttle. Big window, lots of room inside, and just it looks fast, and it probably is. I don't know what the speed is on this thing as far as top speed goes, but I can imagine it's pretty quick. If the speedboat Type 9 can get to warp 7.5, this is probably very much up there. So, and capable. It's very capable as well, as we see when it goes against the scout ship. So, yeah, very cool shuttle. Yeah, I don't have much else to say about it. I didn't really know what I was going to say about it. I just like the way it looks,
Yeah, and it's a weird one because it is so. It's actually in quite a long scene in the movie, and it stands out. At least they put the effort into making a new shuttle, which is always appreciated. But it really is a spiritual successor to everything that came before, and I think it's its greatest strength. It's. Well, it also shows that if you remove the nacelles, it's just still kind of like a boxiness. It's like the way it's plated, it's kind of odd and doesn't necessarily feel as Star Trek-y as some other things. But it only needs a few key details to put it in that realm. Those familiar elements of the glows and the phaser strips. But it's definitely needed to have been in more. There weren't really shows after this film to be in more, so it kind of missed the boat there. But obviously, like I said, I'm using it more. I intend to use it even more because I think it really does stand out a little bit, actually, because it's such a natural evolution. And this is the last time we see something from the TOS shuttle to this line of generation. Although it has some weird quirks, like it has those, and it does actually. And obviously, I've done the research to build a 3D model. The way it's lit changes throughout the scene, the one scene it's in, which is unhelpful. Like those those little grills in the front, they're sometimes glowing, they're sometimes not. Well, what are they then? I guess they're the same things for with the runabout, but they're not glowing all the time. Okay, do I make them glowing? I don't know. It looks a bit weird if they're bright orange. And at the back, it's got impulse engines, but they're not always on. But they're a weird color. Are they impulse engines? I don't know. Bit weird. So and also, why has it got a docking hatch on the top? You have so little space in this damn thing. Why a dedicated? I mean, it's not as if it even docks into a shuttle. It has to cut through a shuttle to get into. It's not. It's not a thing that naturally goes into the thing. It was a forced entry tube. What is this thing for? I don't get it, Stuart. And are you telling me that this is designed to fit with an Enterprise, like at the star bases with the what are they called? Umbilical pods, umbilical light tubes. But then what? It's on its side, and then the person's got to walk in and reverse gravity to then.
Yeah.
Why is that a thing? Land the damn thing. Stuart, explain to why it has that thing on the top.
For convenience of the plot, and it was in the script.
Yes, and yes, well said.
And so Lando Calrissian can go out and save Luke Skywalker. Wait, what?
In where he's wearing, and in the next film, he steals Han Solo's outfit. That at the end of the film, because my friend's been kidnapped. Let me raid his wardrobe and wear his exact outfit. That's what.
I would do that for you, my friend. I would do that for you. You mentioned my shirt's on. Your shirt's on me. I missed the super chat by Elizabeth. ISFJ 1009 $10. This is why the flyer could be changed to.
No, you said that.
Oh, did I read that one?
Yeah, we took that.
Okay. I thought I missed that one. But Jars, you have $5. I love this thing. It's like the Cadillac of Starfleet shuttles. Big, powerful, luxurious, sexy. If I could have one shuttle from Trek, this would be it. This is your number one, Jars, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely feels like the epitome of... Like, because the roundabout... A, it's not a shuttle, and B, it's not sleek in the same way, because this benefited from the additional years of CG evolution, etc. But this is the one you would, I think, feel comfortable traveling in. Like, I'm spending 5 days in it. Okay, yeah, that's right. I've got a big cockpit. There's quite a big back bit. That's fine. I'm sure there's replicators, and there might even be beds, etc. Or at least pull out things. And I decided to use more of it. And thanks again, Matt, for texturing it. And I had a brilliant time doing the interior. It was tricky, but I know I've showed you, Stuart, but comparing the my CG version. Actually, you know what? $15, and I will share with you all an exclusive that only you and Matt and some other people have seen in my fan community. I will show you a picture, a render of my interior that I textured and the actual interior. See how close I got it. I would love to show this. $15, and I will show this right now. And I'd love to see you guys' reaction, because I'm rather proud of it. $15.
Speaking of, we're one like away from 175.
Ooh.
If you haven't hit like, hit the like button, guys. Let's see how high we can get. Maybe we can get 180. Let's do it.
Guys, yeah, 15. I want to show this. Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
So it basically takes them forever to accelerate anything size.
Okay, Eric.
I was going to say, it may encounter derelict. It needs to use the hatch. I mean, sure, but why doesn't every other shuttle have one then? It's a new problem that they ran into. Like, oh, that next area shuttle, we should do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I kind of like that, but that's again so specific. It's so specific.
Well, Jarzia throws in $5. Here's 5, 10 to go.
Yeah.
At 10, we'll get to see the interior of this thing. They can add baby shark. No, they can't.
What does that even mean? Well, I'm gonna load it up, guys. But I really would like to show you guys. I want to see what you guys think.
Oh, $2 closer, Squadra course.
Oh.
I can get you to the 13. Love seeing Samuel's work. And a saucy puppet show puts in $5.
Boom.
So that'll do for now.
All right. So this is the shot, and let me just get it scaled appropriately. Now, the caveat being CG camera, etc., etc. And boy, only when you do cameras in real and CG, you're like, sorry, how far away were they from? Like, was the actual camera away from the actors, and they did a zoom lens? Boy, they were real far. Like they were actually further than the window glass, because there is no real window glass. Like the set stopped, so you had to go further out. So I couldn't exactly replicate it. But here's my before and after, or my comparison. Awesome. Now I tried to obviously mimic it as close as I could. And this is obviously with the wonderful model of that was done for me by Andrew, who was able to upgrade it from a low poly to a medium poly, but then texturing. But what do you think, Stuart?
That's fantastic, dude. Yeah. I mean, you got to add more black to your yellow things, maybe. But other than that, it looks really good. Very good job.
Yeah, I didn't know how to do the grilling, light grilling. Also, where's the hell's the light grills? Sorry, where? I don't know, because every light. But once you start putting like actual lights from where the lights are in the scene, like that's where the light comes from. At least that sort of integrated back bit. And I was really pleased. But like I said, the like matching their lens, the focal length, how far they actually back from the camera, very hard to do. And everything is not truly in proportion because we haven't got actual set plans. So I obviously match as much as possible. But I'm very proud of that, and I certainly, you know,
should be.
It fits the bill, you know.
Yes. Well worth the $15 in the wait, by the way. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Colin Cameron, though, £5. Here's 5. And I know you said it doesn't count as a shuttle, but do you think the Enterprise pod looks like a B-52? Yes, because of the bubble thing. I get that. I mean, what's a shuttle? I mean, there's my top 2 might. We'll see. But
well, I mean, Joe Cool says, so how can we distinguish a shuttlecraft versus a runabout versus a shuttle pod? Is it arbitrary? No. Shuttle pods are smaller, shuttlecraft are medium, and runabout's a runabout, like it's a separate class. And I got in trouble, I remember back in episode like 12. Runabout's not a shuttle, what are you on about? It's a starship, they've got separate registries, so F off, it's not a shuttle. Like, okay, fine. I always thought of a shuttle, but it's actually a spaceship, just the smallest kind of spaceship. Just like the scout ship, it's a scout ship, but like it's a subcategory, for whatever reason. And then obviously you've got like the TNG little pod is a shuttle pod. It isn't the same range as a shuttlecraft.
The Type 15.
Yeah.
Type 15 is a little tiny thing.
And a little tiny defiant one. There isn't many of the mid-sized craft. That's why people count the runabout as a ship. But yeah, you know, it's just there's just that sort of 3 scalings really. But I think besides like DS9, shuttle pods are so infrequently used that they're just like, we just need a small shuttle. We'll call it a shuttle pod. Everything else is mostly a shuttle. And Workbee is its own thing, obviously. So it's just size, really. Size and mission duration.
Yeah. Mark Lawrence, $10. Been listening in while our phones do tech support. Let's see what Sam has. Well, you've seen it now. So thank you.
Thank you.
Sergeant Montgomery, $2. Let's
thank you.
see. Let us see it. Let us see it. Let us see it.
Thank
Mission
you.
accomplished. And Sean K, $2. How is it that Worf is shorter than Picard?
Yeah,
Picard's sitting on a phone book. I don't know.
That would actually be funny to know, like the changes in what they've got. Patrick, why is your chair 7 inches taller than mine? Dorney,
it's just one of the adjustable chairs, like in the car. Yeah. You can like.
Mr. Worf, I expect all my subordinates to be shorter than me, given any aliens looking through the window. Yes, Captain. But can I fire phrases? No, Mr. Worf. I never can fire phrases. No, you can't. No. Not until you get your own ship. A little ship called the Valiant Defiant. No. And also I saw another comment I wanted.
Little.
There you go, see? And CH Chon's a very nice commander. There's a few minor changes, but that might just be explained as a different production date of the shuttle. Yes, I mean, you know, it's not probably this exact shuttle. There's lovely caveats with that. Although everything was attempting to be, even the LCARs are pretty damn exacting. But the way, like, to get, like you said back, like pointy lights, it's actually a light inside a glass plastic structure. Well, that is hard to fake, and like, whereas the other thing is just an emitting light. Like, it's a way that it works differently. Anyway.
Yeah. Dan23 says it's a Workbee with cargo pods attached. That's because the Workbees have different attachments, one of which is like a train system where you attach different cargo pods too. You can actually attach quite a lot. You also got arms for the Workbees. So the Workbees are they're not in a certain mold. There's a Workbee with different attachments. So, yeah.
Well, it's a platform more than an individual craft. And we've seen some of Andrew Probert's like alternates, like things that never got made. And I would love to have seen like a Workbee shuttle, like taking that and making it like a fully fledged. I know we saw something vaguely in that vein, but it'd be really cool to see like, you know, it slides in and then I don't know how you do it, but like Work Me Mark III with a shuttle. Yeah.
All right, so we're on to your number 2, your silver place.
Ooh. My number 2 is the SC4 Janeway's shuttle. Which again I was surprised about, but this shuttle improves a lot of things for me. There's a slight bias in that the CGI models on Pierre Droulet's first in Star Trek, and he then did the NX-01 and in the Shinjo, you know, he worked on it for a long time. The model geometry is radically improved, so it feels smooth, it feels more premium, and they knew they're going to get right. It's a hero ship, so it has that real like premium, and the model still looks great right now, you know, 25 years later. But I really like it's the same but more advanced and more different and extra thought put in, and just, you know, it's a Type 9 but better, literally, figuratively, and structurally, and I really enjoy this one. I've never worked with it personally, besides stills, but this one always stands out to me as like that's a special shuttle, because it is. I would love to see more of it. You know, it's got some flaws and it's got still the same extra pointiness as the Type 9, but because of the more geometry, the fact that it's got these other gradients, it kind of changes that vibe. I don't know, for me this stands out in such a unique way. It might not be the best second design, but I've always loved the design, and so it stood out to me as special. And if this is your number 2, I'll let you speak now, forever hold your peace. If not, I'm kind of hoping it's not. Might be, who the hell knows. But that's my number 2, because it's darn cool.
It's not my number 2.
Okay, so now you can talk about it partially. Because this ain't your number 1. That'd be shocking.
It's very pointy. Too pointy.
It is. Oh.
I prefer the Type 9 to this one personally. But I don't know. This one never really caught my interest at all. I'm not a fan of the nacelle design either. It's again too pointy. Everything's so like, it looks like a high-speed, like high caliber Full Metal Jacket in round coming out of a 50 cal or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have much to say about this one. It's okay.
Damn.
I know it's your number 2. I'm sorry, but I don't know what to say.
Wow. Fair enough. I feel like a mic drop of disagree.
That's exactly what it was, but in a very polite Canadian way.
Extremely polite, because you don't have very much other opinions on it, which is fine. No, I know I'm a little bit biased also because of how cool it is in the episodes. Yeah, I just like it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, from my number 2, and we just talked about this, and my number 2 is a runabout.
Yeah.
I still consider it a shuttle. I mean,
maybe yelling commence now.
I know, as on registry, I understand this. However, the size for me says shuttle, and it had to be on my list. I wish we would have seen like a full. I mean, we do see the back end of a runabout, but in TNG, the back part with the conference table. I wish we could have seen that in DS9. I don't know why we didn't.
It looked great.
It looked fantastic. And it would have pulled the whole ship together, because we saw the front so often.
Oh.
Even some changes where the transporter was and stuff. They kind of they made a few changes over the course of the run, and then you get the Yellowstone version, which has the weapons pod thing on top. So is it a starship? Is it a small ship? Is it an auxiliary craft? Is it a shuttle? I don't know. I just really, it had to be on my list somewhere, and I think the runabouts are fantastic. So I guess I'm out of the running now because this isn't a shuttle. I don't know. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, put it in the chat right now, guys. I know what I've been told, and I there's certainly a very strong, distinct case for not. If we jump back to 2014-15 when we did the video, I hadn't watched DS9 as much as other people had, so I can imagine those that had watched DS9 and treat it like well, this is our starship. This is our thing, you know. But it functionally serves the exact same role as a shuttlecraft. Like, they did long journeys in a Type 6, so them doing long journeys in this is the same vibe. It's just bigger because bigger. And so I always thought it considered a shuttle, but like I said, we got yelled at because it isn't. It's that line, because you know there is no USS Janolan, not USS, you know, whatever the what was Scottish Shuttle in Relics at the end?
Goddard.
Yeah, Goddard. Yeah, USS Goddard and you know, NCC or whatever. But these all have them. But but if you look at it in the show, it feels so non-functional to be a full starship. It's just a big shuttle. Like, yeah. Okay, although yes, it can defeat a Dominion bug ship in like one phaser blast. When the story calls for it.
It's like the difference between a camper, like a small camper, and a Winnebago. Sure, I think you might need a different class of license to drive a Winnebago because it's longer, but it's like, I don't know. And anyway,
it ain't no semi
truck.
On my list. Yeah, like there's still that weight distinction. Seriously, guys, put in the comments right now in the chat right now. Is the runabout equals shuttle or non-shuttle?
Just put shuttle or non-shuttle.
Yes, I want to vote right now.
And I know Memory Alpha says it's not a shuttle, but it's open to interpretation, in my opinion. Kyle Wong, 5 pounds. I hate the runabout design.
No, he says I hate the runabout design. So I guess he hates running about's design.
Well, I hate running about. One of my three major fears in my life, you know, math, dentist, and running.
Kai, don't worry. But you know, why do you like? I mean, just while people put in, is it a shuttle or a non-shuttle? Let us know right now. Why did you like it as a design? Ignoring obviously the slight instant bias we had to not a shuttle. So give us why. So I think skip that bit.
So comfy at the back, which we never see except for once. I'm not even on the show that it's featured in. And also the adaptability of it, different cargo modules and stuff can go in the middle. That whole middle section can be swapped out. You got a transporter. It's like a shuttle on steroids. It's not quite a starship, but it's got a few features that, see, there you go. There's the argument, right? A few features that make it something. You can see Han Solo tooling around in this in universe because it's kind of like a ship that a small smuggler would be able to get his hands on or something. It's got some really unique plus it's got weapons. If you get the Yellowstone class, you got the weapons pod at the top. You got the warp drive. I don't know. It is a mini starship, but in a shuttle package. Look at the interior. Honestly, look at that cockpit and tell me that's not a shuttle size. Come on.
Well, how many shuttles have like 6 stations for people?
Shut up.
Most shuttles have 2.
All right, so we got shuttle for starbase, non-shuttle. Shuttle is a shuttle, very capable shuttle. A shuttle, non-shuttle. Utilitarian, non-shuttle. Big shuttle, super shuttle, non-shuttle. Shuttle. It fits in the shuttle base, so shuttle.
Every time it says shuttle, drink. That's the new rule.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. Shuttle. A shuttle on steroids, maybe. Shuttle. A long-range shuttle. Shuttle. Shuttler. No toilet. I think you mean shuttle, no toilet. Non-shuttle. Shuttle. Honorary shuttle, at best. Oh. It's a big extra functional shuttle. Shuttle. Yeah, see, this is a debate. This is not... Who cares what Memory Alpha says? It's very much on that line of... So... Colin says with 5 pounds, it's runabout. It's the runabout, not about the same size as the shuttle. Is the runabout not about the same size as the shuttles, the real ones? Oh, the real space shuttle.
No, this is smaller. I mean, it's not that big. Like, it's not big. It's substantially bigger than a normal shuttle.
Makes a good point though. Fits in the shuttle bay. It's a shuttle. Sean Cartier, $5. I remember a Star Trek magazine that previewed DS9. I fell in love with the runabout. I was excited. Starship.
Well,
Ooh.
I like. I mean, I just wish the nacelles were much nicer. I mean, the nacelles are just boxes with glows. I just, I don't like the way the the forward window glass is just cut in so far in. It looks so inorganic and wasting of space.
It limits your field of view too.
It really does, yeah. But the main hull, I like the hard lines, the curved hard lines. As oxymoron as that is, I really like that. But I definitely would love to have seen a runabout Mark II, honestly, with better nacelles, refined front. There's so many and honestly, these could be Trekyards videos by themselves, update the runabout, etc. They just take time.
It could be another live actually, just talking about the runabout and whether it's a shuttle.
Yeah, controversial.
Jarzia says shuttles without toilets can quickly become shittles.
I mean, come on. If the brig in Star Trek 5 has a boop, they all have toilets. Come on. Yeah. Every shuttle's a toilet. Maybe not shuttle pod.
No
but
privacy.
Well, yeah, but
maybe there's a force field, no opaque force field that goes up around you or something.
That's funny. I like that. That's good.
I
like that.
Eugene, 250 rubles.
Oh, okay. What do you
Runabout is a thing between starship and shuttlecraft. Also, it's its own thing. Hence, it has a separate designation, not mothership designation plus number. Okay, fine. But it's on my list as number 2, so you deal with it. There we go.
Enough said. All
right, we're winding down here, guys. Hit that like button if you haven't. Let's get to 200 likes. It's 12 more likes.
And we'll be honest, the $40, it's ambitious, but if we can jump in your number 1, put in, 10 fives or however many 10s, I can't brain think.
And last super chat slot as well, guys.
But I do want to know your number 1. When we get into our number 1, I want to know you guys' number 1. That's important to me.
Yes.
Is it important to you?
Not really.
Although actually, doesn't need to be super chat, but if you want to do super chat as well, let's what do you think our number 1's going to be? If you want super chat, that's brilliant. If you don't, fine. Stuart and Samuel, what do you think our number 1's going to be? If you remember our entire list, there's actually some decent ones left in the pot. And since Stuart is throwing caution to the wind, he'll pick anything. Shuttle Pod, he might even pick the Defiant. Who the hell knows where his lines are? We'll find out. Or the Sydney class. Or the Sayer class. My God, Stuart. Caution, wind, throne. So let us know right now.
The Raven.
Yeah.
So let us know what you think our number 1's going to be. Hit that like button. 10 more likes would be great. And like you said, $40 would be fantastic.
35.
Sean Corpier, though, $5. I picture B.A. Baracus and the A-team working out in the back in a black one running around the Federation. That's great. Black one with a red stripe. Yeah. Tenchi 2K7, $5.
Thank you.
There is a runabout revision 2. It's called the Type 11 Shuttle. Type 11 Shuttle.
There is some logic to that.
Yeah. Disco Shuttle is going to be our number 1, I guess. Type 7, but doubtful.
Listen, Jericho knows like it's number 8. We're long since past that. I'm sorry.
Sergeant Montgomery, $2, 29th century Aeon time ship.
Ah, see, that's not a shuttle either. Because in that era, that's a full functional time ship. That's a weird distinction, though. But it's like a patrol craft where you only need this much space to function. Because in that era, that's all you need to function. Like, that's a weird...
Why do you hate my number 1 and 2? That's not my number 1.
Nice. I would be surprised if it was.
A Saucy Puppet Show, $5. Number 1, Discovery Shuttle. Oh, wait. This isn't the current Trek producers' top 10 shuttle list.
Well, no, if it was, it'd be top 1, 2, 3,
We should have just done that. We should have had everyone be the Discovery Shuttle. Just a different angle of it.
Stuart.
So my number 10 is the Discovery Shuttle.
We've talked about this. We may do a top 10 Discovery Shuttle appearances. So we know it appeared as many versions of many ships. We're going to go down, find the bullshit, and do our top 10 Discovery Shuttle appearances.
All right, well, Vulcan Shuttle is Sam's number 1. Sean Carpenter says $5. What about Tom's Alice? It's not a Federation ship.
That would
yeah.
be a shuttle, just?
Yes, I would say so.
I mean, it's more powerful than a shuttle, but that's just the alien race it comes from.
Yeah.
So...
The list of Jericho says the Argo Shuttle. Samuel's already had it on his list. Jarzia, $2. Sam's number 1 will be Type 15 Shuttle Pod.
That's the Shuttle Pod, Jarzia. We've been through this. I've been through this.
It's not a runabout. It's really called a runabout.
A runabout.
All right, well, let's get into it.
Yes, so my number 1 is the Delta Flyer. This was easily my number 1 because it is... it's good because it was already on your list, so I can talk about it and not be worried about, you get your own. It is... No, it's not... It's weird because it's... And I know you love the physical design, maybe not as a shuttle in the top, 5, but it's so sleek, it's so sexy, it's so designed well. The 3D model is gorgeous, which means everything it's in looks great. The interior is great. The back's great. Her lands is good. I love the integration of the warp nacelles, and it's got phaser strips. They barely use them if ever, but they're there. The little green bits is cool. It's so full. Obviously it's not Starfleet design abstractly, and that's obviously the advantage to this. It's a unique hot rod, as literal as that is going to be, but it benefits from that uniqueness because it is meant to be exactly what it says on the tin. I would love to have seen this reflected in later designs in Picard or whatever. Like, they took that and moved and did something forward. And that should happen at some point because it's such a well done ship. It's still a shuttle, even though you could argue it's more powerful than a runabout. I think in many ways it is. Well, it is a much newer design. So again, you have that like caveat of it's just better tech and Borg tech, etc. So it's that line, but it is always functioned as a shuttle craft, just a top tier. We cram all this like A-star platinum shit into a shuttlecraft. And I really like the dials and how that is. I've always loved just the set as well. I would love to have been in that. It's tiny, but it feels big. It's very well formatted. And the fact that you can have like this nice wide shot with Paris and everyone in it, like, it feels very... They really cared about it. You can sense they cared about building this and using it and giving it a really full life. And it's just like oozing with character. Yeah, although it's barely a shuttle in the sense it's not Federation, not very little Star Trek, but it's damn sexy. And it is great in motion. I was trying not to talk about it too much in your version, but I would make some changes, for sure. That little deflector nib at the front is so tiny. It's so tiny. And I would probably make the warp grills like go up higher and maybe not even extend. It's a bit of a gimmick. You know, there's things, but I really like it. It's just so damn sleek. There you go. What do you think, Stuart, about my number 1? Like, what do you think that is my number 1?
Going into this, I thought this might be your number 1, and then I kind of forgot about it. And when you were off screen peeing, I said to everybody, what's his number 1? How well do I know him? Type 11, because I know he's been ranting about that lately. But then it's like, as soon as you come back, you're like, Type 11. I'm like, shit. And I forgot about the Delta Flyer. Yeah, I should have just said that.
Cool.
UFG 10 or 2036 puts in $2. So thank you so much. You got the last super chat slot as of right now. So
but
as we go into
$25 away, guys. 25. That's not a lot. I mean, it is for us. Like, it means a lot, but it's not a lot in the grand scheme. And 8 likes. 8 likes. All right.
Who wants the captain's number 1?
I want it. I want to see.
All right. My number 1 is the Arrow Shuttle. You cannot deny that it's a shuttle because it says shuttle in the name, even though it's the size of a runabout. Oh, wait a minute. Was this ever on screen? Not really, but kind of, and should have been. So the Arrow Shuttle for the win. This would have made Voyager complete, in my opinion. I love how the idea that the shape is there on the bottom of Voyager, but it's a placeholder. The Arrow Shuttle was never finished. There should have been a substructure or a shell there. You fucking bastard. I hate you so much. Discovery Shuttle.
Because Stuart sent me a message saying it's really the Discovery Shuttle, but I can't let that slip. So I need you to put the visual in. I'll talk, and as I talk, my words will get slowly more like the Discovery Shuttle, and it'll become clear. So by the end of my statement, it'll be, you guys know it's the Discovery Shuttle.
It's not the Discovery Shuttle. My number one is the Arrow Shuttle.
I had this ready. I was going to say it's my number one. I completely forgot. So I double back and use it because, damn it, got one more first to talk about. Your number one, Stuart, is the
Voyager Arrow Shuttle.
There we go.
As I said, this should have been. See, the Delta Flyer. It's funny, the Delta Flyer is your number one. This one's my number one because this should have been the Delta Flyer for Voyager.
Yeah.
Yeah. They should have had a substructure there installed that wasn't finished yet, and they have to finish up the ship, build it, use that thing. It's severely underused.
But Captain, we've got another ship attached to our ship. It's ready to launch. No! Build a new ship.
They were building
Today.
it in the ship. They were building it in the dry dock next door. That was going to come in and fill in the hole, but then they just left the placeholder in because they had to go on their mission.
Whose idea was that? Was that Rick's idea? It was someone's just genius idea. It was like, that's it. That's got to be it.
Yeah, and it would have been great. How great would it have been seen? This is another capable starship, essentially. It's the size of a runabout, probably as capable. It could have helped Voyager on multiple occasions, and they never used it. They did a successful CGI test of it. Like, I don't understand. Anyway, that's why it's my number one shuttle. It should have been seen more often, if at all.
Yeah.
So like I said, my number one and two, I said this from the beginning, it might be controversial as far as shuttles go, but I don't really give a shit. This one says Arrow Shuttle. Shuttle. It's in the name. Shuttle. So nobody can argue with me that this is not a shuttle. Even though it never existed. Anyway. Arrow Shuttle for the win. And not the goddamn Discovery Shuttle. I hate you so much.
Nathan says, tee-hee, we got a Rick-rolled with a Discovery Shuttle, and Captain hasn't noticed. Because I was chuckling. I was great because we saw the lag there, and I'm so glad you didn't notice for a long time. I'm so glad. That was satisfying to me.
I'm so glad that I could
Thank
satisfy
you.
you.
What?
Anyway.
So, I mean, the problem with this design is that we are limited to this CG model. I don't know if this is actually the original. I think this might be a fan. It's not very well lit, and they do better in the. I think they on anyway. It's boxy as all hell. Like, it's far less sexy than the Delta Flyer, because it was never finished and they had limitations, and the bottom is not nice looking because it has to fit flat onto a hull. You know, like it's not like if they'd done a hero version, it would have looked different, sleeked out better. And I definitely think this design, given a true sleek version, would be great. It really would. I'd love to see it.
And just want to jump in real quick.
Yep.
Jan23 says the Nova class has a ship built into it as well.
Mhm.
Yes, the Wave Rider, which was also a super cool design, actually.
Never fleshed out at all though. Like
No.
this at least was fleshed out by the team, the internal team. But I assume you agree though. It's certainly bulkier than it should be, but that's just because they were all in their spare time, etc.
I mean, sure, but I really like the way this thing looks, and just the way that Rick describes how it would work in the atmosphere by using force fields to change the leading edge of its wing surface to make it have lift. I mean, that's great. Like, you don't need to explain that, but you do at the same time. So, I don't know. I just think it's great.
Yeah, because for me, those wings really let it down. They're just boxes, and they would not be that way. They don't fit. I mean, they fit maybe a TNG stuff, and I guess it's a TNG ship. Fine, okay, it's late TNG. Just it's so boxy compared to Voyager, compared to whatever. And it wouldn't take much to make a more modern version of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great, and that test is fantastic.
And you can see the test on YouTube, guys. Just type in Arrow Shuttle
Test flight, I think.
Flight, yeah, whatever. Eugene, 500 rubles. Shaka, when the walls fell. When the walls filio keto, his eyes closed. Type 7. It's usably design forgotten. It's unibrow window unappreciated. Yes.
Stuart, what do you think about the Type 7 shuttle?
It's all right. we talked about it. Kind of. I got cut off. It's all right. It's got bizarre collectors. Yay. I just don't like the way that the cells attach.
For me, it's unbalanced, and it doesn't look. I know Andrew made it to feel very appropriate, but it actually feels not appropriate in design to the Enterprise D, for whatever reason. It doesn't feel like it should feel to me.
Oh, that thing. Yeah, that's ugly. I thought you were talking about a different one. Never mind.
Yeah.
The Sporkmeister, $5. I always figured the Flyer's warp grills extended to clear the hull for some Roddenberry rules.
The line of sight. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that works fine. I can buy it.
Yeah.
Easy review.
Colin Cameron, £5. That was worth £5. Oh, thank you.
Okay.
And we had 200 likes as well. God damn. Awesome.
And let's all be honest, $13 and we are done. Don't need it. We'll close out. I want to know your guys' number one right now. If we can get 13, you guys have really stepped up. And as a community, we've really bumped that up. Phenomenal. You guys do. We've often had a reason to say, "Oh, we need a bit of help," and you guys do come to the rescue. It's pretty lovely, and certainly so $12 and we can round out. But let us know your top one right now. I'd love to get just 168 people. I want to see 100 people in the chat. What is your number one shuttle, Federation shuttle, in all of Star Trek?
Yes, Federation shuttle is important. So right now, Colin has the last super chat slot, but yes, if we get another $13 would be great. So,
and then we'll do a live tomorrow on the next day. Thursday, we're going to be doing our third in a row, probably our last Trek Shorts follow-up with match funds, which we're at 70% currently. I've got even more updates to share, and Trekyards is the place I share them because you guys are fantastic. Last time we managed to do a massive dent. Makes a big difference. So if you guys join for that, there's great new updates, some more visuals, talk about the short, I might even show the short we just released, and do a live feedback thing, because that'd be really kind of fun.
That would be good.
And what's amazing about it is though even getting £100 in Indiegogo does make a difference, and having just today did a big I told you, Stuart, I was doing some costume fitting for an actress, and inexpensive to do that. So by doing a match funds, it's that takes a chunk out of the budget that I need, that I'm doing extra. But I mean, you need properly fitted costumes, and you shouldn't skimp on that, really. Even if you're making less expensive costumes, tailoring them makes all the difference. And I'm super excited to get that stuff out there, because I think you guys want to see it. I think you need to see it. Yeah.
Well, we hit our goals.
Yes.
UFG 2036, $2. What about the Space Dock Tug?
Space Dock Tug. I
know of a tug in DS9, but it wasn't in Space Dock.
Yeah, I mean, that would probably be a shuttle, but the fact it's called a tug. I mean, it is a shuttle. I would probably.
It's construction equipment, like a work bee. It's a different category.
I don't know. I don't know. It's so
Would you take a tug from a ship to a planetary surface? No, it's made for tugging something around in dry dock.
This one I might, because it doesn't seem to have any purpose. We never see it tug anything. It has two simple chairs at the front, a little bit of space, some engines at the back. It serves no visible function. Although, okay, cores at the back intend to be tractor emitters. Okay, fine, but we never see it do it. So if it's just a shuttle, then it's just a shuttle to me. But yeah, I mean, if it is, let me see it be a tug, please.
Matt Boardman, $5. Tactical shuttle snipe. There's no tactical shuttle, but you can imagine if there was. Dun dun dun.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Tenchi, 2K7, $5. My number one would have been the Delta Flyer, but the discussions on the Type 11 have placed it above today. Dun, dun.
That's good. I like that. That's funny.
Sergeant Montgomery, $2. My number one, Arrow Shuttle. I just seen the test footage. I tell you, should have done it.
It's pretty good.
AC Costello, $3. Now just $10 needed. Romulan Kestrel Shuttle.
Yeah, it's a good shot. It's
not Federation.
Jinx. And that was perfect on my ears, and I'm the one doing the lives. That was
yeah. Madness 201, $5.
Thank you.
The Defiant Shuttle concept from Star Trek Online. Not the Chaffee. You can find it online if you Google it.
Oh.
It may be more of a runabout size. I think we've covered a lot of the concepts.
I don't know how to say a shuttle concept though. I don't know.
Dan 23, £2.
Oh my god. Hi, Dan.
What is your favorite shuttle bay?
Dan, you're pulling out of pocket. Cool. Oh god, Bay.
That'd be another top 10 list, maybe.
Maybe. Oi. Oh.
I really like the one we see in the concept sketch from John Eves with the Enterprise E. That's cool looking. But honestly, the one from Stage 9, the main shuttle bay from the Enterprise.
Very impressive.
Enterprise D, yes. Beautiful.
If I had to pick one right now, I'd say the CG one that the SC4 Voyager is in feels most practical, but that's like I'd have to look and like find reasons. It's a good. I mean, I've never thought about that before. So all credit for a great question.
The Sporkmeister, $5. I want to see a love child between the Type 11 and the Delta Flyer to have a new runabout. But as it stands, my favorite is Janeway's Endgame shuttle.
I did consider designing a combo Delta Flyer Type 11 for the Horizons custom shuttle. I've had some ideas of how to sort of, but it kind of felt more kit bashy than I'd like. I mean, I didn't ever do it, but I mean, in concept, saying just plug the two together feels like a kit bash by definition. So, I didn't make it, although I think I could do better now. But I would like to see like classic nacelles on a Delta Flyer-esque shape, but a more conventional front like a Type 11 on a Delta Flyer. So there's things that you could do to kind of hybridize them. But yeah, Stuart, phenomenal. We kicked butt. We'll see you tomorrow for another great topic. Stuart, well done for the topic. That kicked so much butt. Glad you guys. Please turn tomorrow and Thursday for exclusives. Huzzah!
Yeah, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel.
Boom. Oh, and the last one I was going to read, someone said they were just suggested our top 10 shuttlecraft from 5 years ago. Oh, the top 10.
Nice.
So
check that out.
Go check out past us. Yeah.
Anyway, guys. Yeah. Until next time, I'm Captain Foley.
And I'm Connor Coggins.